TPE 2023 at the Perdomo booth with Ralph. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, sir? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So listen, I'm quite frankly I'm not a fan of much, but I really do enjoy the Perdomo brand. And I have for a number of years, just organically. And I'd like to ask you some questions about, the founding of the company, what got the company started. But you know what? I'm interested in this gentleman here that's on your signage.
The gentleman you see in the picture there, his name is Aristides. He's the head of our fermentation department in Nicaragua and our production facilities. He's been in the tobacco business for over 75 years. He's actually 94 years old right now and works in our fermentation department on a daily basis in Nicaragua in our main factory.
That's amazing. He's older than you and I, not put together, but definitely, strike
Pretty
that.
close.
What I mean is, he's been involved in the tobacco industry, cigar industry, longer than we've been alive.
Absolutely.
That's pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
It's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So I'm sure he's very well taken care of, and he looks pretty dedicated there in the image.
He's a very hard worker, and he knows his craft very, very well.
Very, very good. So Ralph, give me just the rundown on the background of the company. Frankly, I don't know what got Perdomo started. I don't know really the foundation of it, but just give me a history of the company.
So Nick was an air traffic controller and worked in Miami International Airport as an air traffic controller. His father and grandfather were both first and second generation tobacconists from Cuba. And Nick always wanted to be in the tobacco business. And as I mentioned before, he was working as an air traffic controller, had a good job, good pension. And he approached his dad and told him, hey, I think I want to start making cigars and selling cigars. And his dad told him, why would you want to do that? You've got a great job, great pension. And he goes, it's been a passion of mine that I've always wanted to do. So in August of 1992, Nick and his wife Janine started the business out of their garage in their home and started selling cigars and manufacturing cigars out of their home, basically. And 30 years later, as of August of last year, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary, and we're within the top 3 family-owned and operated tobacco businesses in the United States of America.
That's amazing. And starting the business in the family garage, there's so many of those stories. I don't know if you know about other types of equipment, but like Surefire flashlights.
Oh, absolutely. I'm former law enforcement, so I'm very familiar with it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Started in the garage of the 2 guys that started it.
Right.
And I met them many moons ago when they were selling flashlights on a card table at a show.
Right.
Yeah, and all of my guys that were with me when we were at this particular event, just Source Equipment, were shaking their head and mumbling and saying, what's the matter with you, Stuart? Why do you want this thing? It's too expensive. The bulbs will break if you drop it on the deck, and the batteries are $1. And it's weird. The batteries were $1 way back then, and they're still about $1 now. That's about the only thing that hasn't been hit by inflation for some reason.
Pretty much, yeah.
So prior law enforcement, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So you're familiar with what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these things that start in a garage, just from a passionate or a highly skilled interest level, is just amazing. So that's where they got started.
Absolutely.
Do you know when they had when they moved out of the garage? Do you know approximately when that occurred?
They moved out of the garage and about 1994, 2 years later, and in 95 is when Nick's dad actually moved over to Nicaragua and started our production in Nicaragua. And we've grown to where we are today, which is we have a main factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. We have 2 satellite factories. We have almost 2,000 acres that we grow tobacco on, and almost 4,200 employees between the 3 factories and the fields in Nicaragua today.
And then, of course, you have some employees in the States for warehousing and transportation.
Our headquarters office in Miami Lakes, Florida. We have about 20 employees that work out of our headquarters office, which is our U.S. distribution center. And then we have a sales force of about 17 salesmen that cover the United States for us.
Very good. Outstanding. So what is I know what I like, but what is your foundation level cigar? Your classic that just seems to be the most.
Our top selling brand has been on the market for a little over 23 years now. It's the Perdomo 10th Anniversary Champagne, and we sell millions of cigars a year just in the U.S. Without taking into account international sales.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and jump, if we can, to what we have new for the show, and/or that will be being distributed, a little bit later in the year.
Gotcha. We don't have any new releases for TPE. We're currently working on our 30th anniversary cigar, which our goal is to release it for PCA this year in July.
July, yeah.
Yes, sir. And we're just basically waiting on paper products from our printers to get the bands, shelf talkers, and vistas and artwork on the boxes. And if all that comes through, we're going to be releasing that for PCA this year.
What type of tobacco will be in that, if it's been decided yet?
It has been decided, but it hasn't really been made public yet, so I'll leave that to Nick when he's ready to make that announcement.
Well, hopefully we'll see you guys at PCA and be able to sample a couple there.
Of course, look forward to it.
Very good. Now, general price point, across the continent for your cigars ranges around what?
Well, one of the things that our brand is known for is our quality, consistency, and our price points. Nick and his dad both, when they actually started the company, they always agreed on the fact that they want to make the cigars affordable so everybody can enjoy them. So our price points usually range from the lower end of about $4.50 a stick to about $14 a stick.
Okay, good. Yeah, nice range as well. Yeah. Other than that, do you have a favorite adult beverage, personally?
Bourbon or Scotch.
Bourbon or Scotch? Okay. Monkey shoulder guy?
So. I like the monkey shoulder, like on an old fashioned. It gives it a unique kind of twist, but I pretty much like the traditional bourbons and scotches, not any flavors or anything.
Good. When did you first start enjoying cigars?
Age 19.
Yeah, really?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Yeah. Same. Well, a little earlier for me, it was when we would fence, coil fencing afterwards. It was like we thought we were being very sophisticated having a beer and a cigar. Of course, they were machine-made,
right.
Dutch masters, for God's sake.
Right.
But we thought they were good because they were the Cameroons.
Right.
So, but yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, listen, I'm going to leave it at that and talk to you soon. And Ralph, thank you very much. We'll do the Boy Scout handshakes and some panning here.